A viewer of my channel, John Robbins, submitted this comment. I saw a video where you show how to earn 1% every week from the premiums. Does that mean I can earn 4% a month, which is also 48% a year? If so, I have $10,000 in my account. How fast can I grow it? For those of you that haven't seen the video, John's referring to this video here. And in that video, I describe my 1% capture technique, where basically I'm selling options that are set up so that I get paid a minimum of 1% premium, no matter if the option gets exercised or if the option contract expires worthless. If you haven't seen this video, I highly suggest you spend 10 minutes watching it and get the background information. But now let me get back to John's question and talk about whether or not earning 1% per week actually nets you an annual return of 48%. And in order to do this, I'm going to use a worksheet because it's easier to illustrate what's going on, and I also think it helps you visualize what's happening. Next, let's take a look at some numbers, and I'll use a simple worksheet to help us visualize as I walk through this process. So for example, let's say you have $100 and you're investing it in options contracts with a 1-week duration, and you're able to collect the 1% return on premium as described in my 1% capture technique. Well, at the end of that week, you will have accrued $1. Now, if you repeat this same process for 4 consecutive weeks, with each time investing $100 per week, receiving the 1% premium in return for some option trades, then at the end of 4 weeks, you will have collected $4 in premium, in effect earning a 4% return for that entire month. And if you repeat this process for 48 weeks straight, in other words, 12 months or 1 year, your total return would be $48 and in effect earning you an annual return rate of 48%. Hopefully you can follow that and it all makes sense. Okay, before I go any further, I need to jump in here and make a quick comment. Now, while selling options and earning an average of 1% of premium payments every week is possible, the far more difficult thing to do is being able to invest the entire amount required. Now, for example, I show in this worksheet that the option trader is able to invest $100 every week for their trades. But more than likely, that will never be the case. Now, it's more realistic that the trader will only be able to invest a portion of that $100, and the dollar amount doesn't make any difference either. Even if the option trader had $100,000 in their account, it would be very unlikely that they could find the exact combination of options to sell so that it would utilize the full amount. So in other words, this worksheet shows what might be possible in a perfect world. However, in a more realistic point of view, a person would never be able to match these exact numbers. Okay, let's get back to the worksheet. But now, let's plug in your numbers to see what would happen. You talked about having an account with $10,000, so let's go ahead, populate the worksheet with your $10,000. Again, you'd be doing 1-week option contracts, and again, you'd configure them so you'd get a 1% return just based off of the premium you collected from your option trade, which would yield you $100 for that first week. Now, if you repeat the same trade for weeks 2, 3, and 4, you can see the same $10,000, the same 1-week duration option contract, and the same premium return rate. You'd see that you collect $100 for each of those 4 weeks, and by the end of the month, those 4 weeks, you will have collected $400, or in effect, a 4% monthly return. And if you extend that out to 1 year, a full 48 weeks, you would have $4,800 of premiums you've been able to collect, which in effect is an annual return rate of 48%. I've created a different worksheet so we can do a fun little exercise to see how fast you might actually be able to grow it, at least theoretically. To start off with, let's begin with our simple example where we had $100 and we got a monthly return of 4%. That's that 1% per week, but the monthly return would be 4%. So now we can see in the accompanying table how much you would accrue at the end of year 1, starting with $100, getting that 48% return rate for the entire year would give you, at the end of the year, $148. Then if you took that $148 and now use that as your starting amount for year number 2, what could that grow to? Well, using the same strategy of 1% per week with a 1-week option contract, by the end of the second year, you would have amassed $219. Then we would use that amount to start year number 3 and go through the same process. Now, if we repeat this process for 20 years, where each week you take the amount you have in your account and you trade 1 week option contracts and you're able to get that 1% return per week, by the end of year 20, you would have just over $250,000. Now, as I mentioned, in actual practice, it never really works out this way. And that's because you're never able to fully invest the amount in your account, and you're never really guaranteed a 1% return. But it does give you an idea of what could be possible in a perfect world. Well, now let's go ahead and specifically address the second half of your question, where you had $10,000 to start with. So let's go ahead and put that value in. And let's see where your account can go. Now, assuming you were able to get the 4% per month off of these weekly option trades, earning you 1% per week, well, at the beginning of year one, you'd start with $10,000, and by the end of the year, you'd end up with $14,800. And then you repeat the process of using that ending balance as your new beginning balance for the start of the next year. So at the beginning of year two, your starting balance would be $14,800. Now, if you repeat this process, you could see that by the end of year 20, you're looking at just over $25 million. Now, obviously, it's never really going to work out this way for the reasons that I've already mentioned. But it does give you an idea what could be possible in a perfect world. And it's a fun little exercise to go through. So I went ahead and made a little modification to this worksheet and added something called target amount. So for example, if you're starting with $10,000 and you wanted to find out how quickly you could get to $100,000, well, we could just simply type that value in, $100,000, and we could see that sometime between year 6 and year 7, in this perfect world where you're able to invest your full amount every week and get a 1% return, sometime between year 6 and year 7, you would reach your goal of $100,000. And if your goals are to reach $1 million, how long would that take? Well, that's going to happen between years 12 and years 13. I made one more update to this worksheet, and it's called Additional Monthly Contribution. And that's because up until now, we've only been using static amounts for our investing. And what I mean by that is, let's take a look at year number 1. Where your starting account balance was $10,000. You were able to, in this perfect world, invest the full amount every week and get a 1% return every week. And so your ending balance would be $14,800. And that increase of $4,800 is the accumulation of all the premium payments that you were able to collect throughout the year. Now with this new function, let's take a look at how long it would take to get to a different number. So let's say you're still starting with the $10,000 and you're looking to reach $25,000. You could see that it would take between 3 and 4 years. But with the additional contribution, let's say you're able to do $100 extra per month, how much sooner could you get to that $25,000 goal? So right now it's between 3 and 4 years, but by adding an extra $100 per month, you could reach it between years 2 and year 3. So basically you're saving 1 year to get to that goal. And that's because you're able to invest more, and as a result, the returns will be higher as well. Going back to our original worksheet, we could do something that's also pretty interesting. We could take a look at how much we would need to invest or start with in our trading account in order to get a certain target amount as our monthly income. So for example, if you want to earn $400 per month in premiums, and you're earning 4% from premium payments that you've collected through the month, that means your starting balance would need to be $10,000. Sure enough, it jives with the numbers from above. But now let's say you wanted to earn $1,000 per month. How much would you need in your trading account getting that same 4% per month from premium? Your trading account would need to start with $25,000. I went ahead and updated the table with some target monthly values to give you an idea of how much it would take in your trading account to earn those target values. So if you're looking at earning $2,000 a month in premiums, then your trading account should have roughly $50,000, and so on up the line. So eventually you get to the point where you're earning $5,000 a month, which might be enough to replace someone's monthly income. But in order to reach that goal, the trading account would need to have $125,000 or more. I've stated this many times that profitable option trading begins by picking good stocks. And as an option trader, you already have experienced the challenges, stress, and risks of picking a stock to use for your options trading. When investing in trading, it doesn't matter who you are or how much money you have, no one wants to lose money on a trade. To manage my fear, uncertainty, and doubt, I use a simple 3-step process to pick my stocks for option trading. In fact, I'll be hosting a 2-hour YouTube streaming session and demonstrating exactly what I do live and on camera. I'll walk you through each of the 3 steps. I'll share the websites that I use for research, and I'll also show you the tools I use to review and analyze each stock. Plus, I'll show you the exact buttons I push during this free live webinar. So be sure to register for this event so that you'll be notified with the final details, and I'll send you the special link to access this webinar for free. To register, just visit my website, simpleoptiontrading.com/picking stocks for options. If you like the information about my stock picks, then consider joining my Patreon, where I share exclusive videos of my stock picks every week that I'm going to be using for profitable trades. I also include my research notes, stock analysis, and trading strategies for every stock I pick to watch for that week. And of course, all my videos posted on my Patreon are ad-free. There's one last thing before I end this video. Now, making profits and generating an income from option trading is a great thing, but keep in mind that all gains made from trading are considered income and are subject to applicable tax considerations. So every month, I save a portion of the profits that I earned in order to pay for my federal and state taxes. So please consult with your CPA, licensed financial advisor, and or tax preparer regarding the tax liabilities for your unique situation. If you're still watching this video, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I also want to wish you good luck and lots of success with all of your trades.